and my final trade recap was today's two trades actually. And realistically, I'm not disappointed as I followed the strategy. However, I am annoyed that the strategy didn't play purely because, in my opinion, these were good setups. But yeah, you live and you learn. I'll run through it. So we opened Asia with a huge pump. We then came down, created the Asian lows, which was also a 1 hour drawn liquidity, low side liquidity, whatever you want to call it. We then pumped up and, oh yes, I remember perfectly what happened. Okay, so we came down, swept this low, swept Asian lows. So for me, that is a 1 hour drawn liquidity and a 1 hour sweep of the session lows. So for me, this is already pretty high confluence. I just didn't really like the setup, hence why I didn't take a full percent of risk on this trade, which is minus $1,000. Only took 0.5%, and yeah, we waited for the sweep. We got the sweep, and then we got the 5 minute break of structure just here. I entered a bit late, which is why my entry is higher than the 5 minute break of structure. But yeah, it just went straight to stop loss, I guess. There's not much to say about that. The market just wanted to resweep, and yeah, bias was in favor as well. The 4 hour is up, well, was up at least. Yeah, definitely was up. It is not up anymore. But yeah, 4 hours up, 1 hour was also up, hence why I went on the 5 minute instead of the 15. And yeah, lost 0.5% here. We then reswept, which is where I wanted to enter again. And I did re-enter again, which was just on this candle here as we had broken. However, I was waiting for the 15 minute break of structure instead of the 5 minute, purely because the 1 hour was down. And on some charts, this was the 15 minute break. On some charts, this was the 15 minute break. However, I decided to enter based off of this 15 minute break purely because I saw it wrong on MetaTrader. That's a mistake from me, I guess. I probably should have closed the position when this didn't play out. However, I would have entered here and it would have given me a worse overall risk to reward. But yeah, as you can see, went into profit, retraced, and then made relative equal highs and then just plummeted. There's not much else or any other way of describing it. It's quite unfortunate. They're quite good setups in my opinion. I just wasn't really confident on the pattern and the ways the market was moving. It seemed really bearish, especially when you have all of these candles trying to get up and then one bearish candle takes out all of this work from the bulls. I didn't use volume. I don't really use volume, but if the volume was low on here and then the volume was high on this candle, it was clear that there was more sell side pressure. But yeah, there's not much I can say about this. My initial TP for the first trade was this high just here because I did think the market was bullish and we were going to push up. However, the daily is bearish, which should have been my indication to maybe not target that high, which is something to definitely consider for next time. I did consider this on the second trade, hence why I was going to target the session high, Asian session high, which we never got to, which is okay. But that is why I was targeting here instead of this high side liquidity, which probably would not have played purely because the 1 day was down. Other than that, there's not much to say about this trade. I did risk manage correctly. I'm down 1% for today, basically, for these two trades, because I risked 0.5% on both, and 0.5% times 2 is 1%. And yeah, there's not much to say now. I'm just going to wait for tomorrow. I was going to wait on a retrace trade on the 15 minute, but looking at the fair value gaps, nothing got retested. There wasn't a fair value gap here. I was looking for these fair value gaps. Just here, one here. I'm sure you guys know what fair value gaps are and where they are. And obviously this big one just here. None of them came to tap in, so I just walked away from the market. Even looking down here, there's not many that are tapping into the fair value gaps, which is not my problem anymore. But yeah, this looks quite bearish now. There's not much else to say. For this trade as well, the RSI looked fine. The strength from the market looked all right. I just didn't like how the market was moving, hence why I risked 0.5%, and I'm glad I risked 0.5% because even though it was a session sweep, it just didn't look to be favourable. But yeah, overall, we're going to wait for tomorrow, see what tomorrow brings us. If we go on the daily time frame and hide the drawings, we can see this is pretty bearish, and we're probably going to be targeting some sort of order block in here. We're already filling the date. We've filled the daily fair value gap. There's a few more fair value gaps we can fill. I just don't know how low we're going to go because we have broken down now. That doesn't mean we can't break right back up because we are still in bullish order flow. Realistically, we've just broken short-term trend because if we look on the weekly time frame, yeah, we're just filling the weekly fair value gap. So it's not anything to be worried about. However, we have swept this high side liquidity just here on the weekly, which is quite significant, and now we're going down from it. So yeah, we'll see what the market brings us tomorrow, and I will record it if I do trade. But yeah, other than that, thank you guys for watching, and yeah, I hope you guys got some benefit from this recap, and this is my journal for today. Thank you for watching.